I cheated on my husband with our babysitter because I was bored, and somehow everyone's acting like I'm the problem. Full story. I didn't cheat because something was wrong in my life. I cheated because everything was fine. And honestly, fine gets old really fast. Follow us for full stories posted daily. We're serving fresh tea all day. Back to the story. Hello, Tea Talk. My name is Megan. And before people start judging, I need you to understand something. I didn't have a bad life. I had a good husband, 2 great kids, a house people compliment when they walk in. Everything looked exactly how it's supposed to look. And that was the problem. It felt like I had already lived my whole life before I even hit my mid-30s. My husband, Mark, is one of those guys everyone loves. Reliable, predictable, comfortable. He works, comes home, asks about the kids, watches whatever show is trending, and goes to bed at the same time every night like he's on some kind of schedule. And people call that stability. I call it exhausting. Because somewhere in all of that, I stopped feeling like a person and started feeling like a role. Mom. Wife. Responsible. Like those were the only versions of me I was allowed to be. So when Mark started working later hours and we decided to get a babysitter to help with after-school stuff, I didn't think much of it at first. I just wanted the help. We could afford it, and I wasn't about to burn myself out doing everything when I didn't have to. That's when we hired Kayla. She was in college. Young. Pretty in that effortless way where she didn't even seem aware of it. The kind of girl who hasn't had life wear her down yet. At first, she was exactly what we needed. Picked the kids up, helped with homework, kept things running smoothly until Mark got home. But she wasn't like other babysitters. She talked. Not small talk either. Actual conversations. About what she wanted out of life. About not settling. About how people get stuck and just accept it. And I don't know. It was refreshing. Because no one talks to you like that when you're a mom. They talk at you. About schedules, about responsibilities, about what needs to get done. Kayla talked to me like I was still interesting. And I'm not going to pretend I didn't notice the way she looked at me sometimes. Like I wasn't just someone's wife. Like I was something more than that. And yeah, I liked it. A lot more than I probably should have. But I also don't think it's a crime to enjoy feeling seen for once. That's just being human. It didn't happen all at once. I'm not reckless. I don't just jump into things without thinking. It built over time. Longer conversations, lingering looks, moments that lasted just a little too long. Until one afternoon, the kids were at a friend's house, and she stayed later than usual. We were sitting on the couch, talking like we always did, and she asked me if I was actually happy, and I laughed. Because it was such a loaded question, and I told her I had everything I was supposed to want. And she just looked at me and said, "That's not what I asked." And I don't know what it was about that moment, but it felt like she saw right through everything. Through the house, through the routine, through the version of me everyone else was comfortable with. And for the first time in a long time, I didn't feel like I had to pretend. So when she leaned in, I didn't stop her. And before anyone starts acting like I should have felt guilty, I didn't. Because it didn't feel like cheating. It felt like I was finally choosing myself for once. Like I was allowed to want something that wasn't scheduled, planned, or expected. It was exciting. New. Something that was mine. After that, it became our thing. At first, it was just when we had the chance. Then it became something we made time for. Quick moments in between responsibilities. Then longer ones. Then excuses. Errands. Running late. Helping out. All the normal things people say when they don't feel like explaining themselves. And honestly, I liked the secrecy. It made everything feel more intense, more real. Like there was something happening in my life that actually mattered. Eventually, we decided to take a trip. Just a weekend. New Orleans, no kids, no husband, no expectations. Just us. I told Mark I had a work trip. Kayla told him she was visiting her family. The perfect cover story for someone that never asked any questions. And I'll admit, that's when it stopped feeling like just something fun and started feeling like something more. And that's where things started to get complicated. It didn't happen all at once. There wasn't some big moment where everything just flipped. It was gradual. After New Orleans, something changed. For Kayla, everything got deeper. For me, it got heavier. She started texting me more, not just the normal stuff, but constant check-ins. Good morning. Miss you. What are you doing? When can I see you? And at first, it was fine. But then it started to feel like a lot. Like I suddenly had another responsibility, another person expecting something from me. And that wasn't what I signed up for. She started talking about us more seriously, about how she could see a future, about how she'd never felt this way before. And I'd nod along, but internally, I was already pulling back. Because the truth is, I didn't want a future. I wanted what we had before she said, I love you. Simple, fun, no expectations. And once that changed, so did I. So I started creating space, answering slower, keeping things lighter, shifting conversations when they got too serious. And when she noticed, and she did, I told her she was overthinking. Because she was. She was trying to turn something casual into something permanent. And that's not fair to put on someone. Around that time, things at work started picking up. New projects, longer days, and that's where I met Jason. Jason was easy. That's the best way to describe him. No deep conversations, no emotional expectations, just flirting, jokes, energy. The kind of interaction that didn't come with pressure. And after dealing with Kayla's constant need for reassurance, it felt like a reset. It started small, lingering conversations, inside jokes, a little too much eye contact. The usual. And again, before anyone tries to twist this, I wasn't doing anything wrong. I was just responding to what felt right in the moment. One night after work, we stayed late. Everyone else had left. We were talking in the parking lot, and he said something stupid that made me laugh. And then he got a little closer, and I didn't stop him. Again. And just like that, I had options again. And I'm sorry, but I don't think there's anything wrong with not wanting to feel locked into one version of your life. People act like once you choose something, that's it forever. Like you're not allowed to evolve. And I've never believed that. So yeah. I kept seeing Kayla. Still told her I loved her when she said it. Still let her come over. Still let her be around my kids. Because at the end of the day, she still fit into my life. Just not in the way she thought she did. And I started seeing Jason too. After work. Quick meetups. Simple. No pressure. No expectations. Exactly how things should be. Looking back, I think Kayla could feel it. The shift, the distance. Because she started asking more questions. Showing up earlier, staying later, watching me more closely. And I told her the same thing every time. You're overthinking. Which she was. Because if she had just stayed in her lane, none of what happened next would have happened. But instead, she decided to do something dramatic. She decided to surprise me at work, and honestly, that's where everything went sideways. I didn't know she was coming. If I had, I would have told her not to. Because showing up unannounced at someone's job, that's already a lot. It was Friday, end of the day. Everyone was wrapping up, and Jason and I walked out together like we usually did. Nothing out of the ordinary. We were talking, laughing, just normal. And then he leaned in, and I kissed him. It wasn't some huge moment. It was quick, casual. Something that didn't need to be turned into a whole situation. Except it did. Because apparently Kayla had decided to bring me coffee. My favorite, by the way. Like that was going to fix whatever she thought was going on. I didn't even see her at first. I just heard her voice. Are you serious right now? And the tone, immediately dramatic. I turned, and there she was, standing there, holding 2 coffees like she had just walked into some life-altering betrayal. Which, again, felt like an overreaction. She looked at me, then at Jason, then back at me. You told me you loved me. And I just stared at her for a second because this is exactly what I was trying to avoid. So I said calmly, "Kayla, you need to relax." Wrong thing to say, apparently. Because that's when she lost it. Started going on about how we were together, how she thought I was going to leave my husband, how she believed this was something real. And I'm standing there thinking, when did we agree on all that? So I told her the truth. I'm not leaving my husband and kids for some college girl. And that's when she swung. Full on punched me. Right there in the parking lot. In front of my coworkers, customers, random people walking by. And now I'm forced into a situation I didn't ask for. Because I'm not just going to stand there and let someone hit me. So yeah, I hit her back. And suddenly it's this whole scene. People yelling, phones out, someone shouting to call the police, completely unnecessary. Security came out, police showed up, and next thing I know, I'm being put in the back of a car like I'm the one who caused all of this. We both got taken in, which is ridiculous considering she was the one who started it. And here's the part that really irritated me. No one was thinking logically. Everyone was focused on the drama, the video, because of course someone recorded it, and of course it got posted. So now, not only am I dealing with being arrested, I'm trending. I figured Mark would come get me. I mean, at the end of the day, that's still my husband. That's what you do. You show up. But he didn't. Friday turned into Friday night, then Saturday, then Sunday, and I'm still sitting there because I can't see a judge until Monday. And honestly, I just assumed he needed time to cool off, which is fair. It was a lot. What I didn't know was that while I was sitting there, everything else was falling into place. Mark saw the video. Someone sent it to him. Then he talked to Kayla, which I think was unnecessary, but whatever. And apparently, she told him everything, or at least her version of everything. And if that wasn't enough, someone from my job, who was at an office party with Mark at some point, decided to add their input. About me, about Jason, about things that had nothing to do with this situation. So now, suddenly, everyone's an expert on my life. By Monday morning, I was ready to get out and just move forward. Handle things privately, like adults. I walked out of the station, expecting to at least talk to my husband. Figure things out. Reset. Instead, I got handed papers. Divorce papers. Right there. In the parking lot. Before the Uber arrived. He didn't answer his phone for almost 3 days, but he had time to draft divorce papers and file them first thing Monday morning. It was barely 2 p.m. when I was done with the judge and bond company, and this man already had filed. The audacity of this man to leave his wife in jail for days just to be petty and wait for me to get out and serve me papers. That was 6 months ago. I got probation. She got probation. I got divorced. Kayla just kept on living and going to college. Nothing happened there. In fact, from what I heard, people called me a creep for seducing a young girl who never had their heart broken before. Which is a lie she had to have spread. If anything, she was the one who seduced me. On top of all that, my divorce didn't go as well as I had hoped. Apparently, the female judge we had must have been sleeping with Mark or something, because she thought sleeping with Kayla while my kids were home made me an unfit parent. The legal system is not designed for honest people like me that want to live their full life and be their true self. So now I see my kids every other weekend. No child support or alimony. I didn't even get the house. This man really did his best to banish me to the shadow realm. I'll survive, though. Without the kids, I'm hitting up ladies' nights for free drinks and seeing what the breeding pool is like at my new job. Yeah, I had to find a new job after Kayla caused all that drama at my old one. At least I make a little bit more, and some of the managers are hot. You want to know what the craziest part is? My friends and family keep acting like I ruined my life, like I did something so unforgivable. I didn't ruin anything. I just stopped pretending. If anything, all this proved is that people are fine with you being happy, as long as it looks the way they're comfortable with. So tell me, T-Talk, did I actually do something wrong? Or did everyone just lose their minds because I refused to stay stuck in a life that worked for them, not me?